Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, happy Monday. What's up going on, everybody? Jesus Christ. Jesus, excuse me. God bless me. Happy Monday, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? Question for you guys over on YouTube. If you've never been here, please let me know. Consider sending me a chat. If you're brand new here, oh, I had those ending scene. Yeah, thank you, Chester. Appreciate it. Anthony B. Cooking. What's up, Anthony? If you're brand new here, let me know. Thank you for stopping by. Live editing. Portfolio reviews or general conversations. Gear talk. Yo, Chester, let me ask you, bro. How did you get started with what you're doing, by the way? How did you fall into that? Do you still any DSLR? I have zero DSLRs. Hey, bro, which camera are you currently using? Right now on TikTok, I'm using a Sony ZV-E10 II. Good question. Sony ZV-E10 II. It's a good camera. It's expensive, though. I can get a similar result with a camera that costs half the price. It is a good camera. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lie. But it's expensive. And Sony's expensive, guys. I don't know who told you guys that Sonys weren't expensive, but they're expensive. They just have cheaper lenses. And cheaper isn't always better, you know? Zip Walnut, I just got a Sony 6700. Waiting for my 16. Ooh, nice. Which 16 millimeter did you get, bro? That should be exciting. Sorry, what Sony? What, I missed it. Sony ZV-E10 II. I got it right here, actually. I can show you. The cameras that I'm currently using right now are actually, I drew a little diagram. But it is this camera right here. Sony ZV-E10 II. It's $1,200 dude. It's expensive. But I drew this little diagram for you guys to kind of illustrate the what's going on here. Right now I'm using on TikTok, I'm using the Sony right here. And I'm using the R50V, and then I also got a top-down shot right here for the R50V. Top-down shot looks like this. And then these are both of them, actually. This one. Ooh, the Sigma 16 1.4. I love that lens, dude. I literally have 3 of those lenses, zippy. The lens that I'm using is the Sure lens. Yeah, I'm using the Sure lens as well. The Sure lenses are pretty good. If you have the E mount from Sony, the crop sensor ones, I should clarify. These lenses are really nice, dude. That's these ones right here. These lenses, you can buy them individually. You don't have to buy them as a whole kit. I bought the whole kit because I wanted to try them all out. R7 and 100, 400 MK2. Is that the EFL version? Chester. All right. Thanks for the response, Chester. Yesterday, I had a 12-hour shoot for my final college project. Nice, Joe. When can we see those pictures, bro? Should be exciting. You got a lot of editing to do, huh? Did you procrastinate on it at all, Joe? It sounds like you procrastinated. I'm just messing with you, Joe. Chester. So I asked guys over on Kick. I have a buddy of mine, a parasocial buddy of mine, named Chester Captures. He's like an adventure photographer, and I asked him directly like how he got started in that niche, because he's a professional photographer. He makes an income with his camera, and he says, I started as a hobby, and then when a national team for adventure racing needed media human, I began filming for them on a sort of scaled from there further into the space. I followed them to the world champs in 20. Opportunity, bro. You hit when the iron was hot, bro. That's nice. 2023, and networked the crap out of it to get people's radars. After that, I just kept attending and filming events. Yep. And then eventually you become the guy with the camera that's like hanging around, you know? It's like, hey, who's that guy? We need coverage for this. Oh, who was the guy you used for that? And you just, by networking and not being an asshole, dude, you get a lot of referrals for sure. Will's getting better at the niche. And this pretty much brings us to today's show. Yeah, very cool, bro. Would you ever buy a A7S III? If it was the right price. It's expensive though. I'm using an 80D now, planning to buy an RP or an A7C. What do you think? I wouldn't buy an RP or an R. I'd probably get the A7C. Yeah, EF. I got it as my first camera. Nice, dude. I've got 5 hours today. I'm still a ton of filming left. Ah, got it. Still a lot of work to do, Joe. Get on it, bro. Get up your ass. Get off your ass. It's 8 a.m., bro. The sun's out. Do you do weddings? I've done a couple weddings, Ash. I've done a couple weddings. I don't really like them too much. I raised my prices for weddings to like $5,000. And ever since then, I don't get bothered as much. When I was a lot cheaper, I would get calls all the time. I'm like, I don't like these. Not all the time, but I've done maybe 4 or 5, and I stopped doing them. Other than wiping continuously, yo, how do you combat rain on the lens? You get like a hood. You can get a hood, or you can get like one of those covers. I've never been out in the rain with my lens though. Amanda, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate. Charisma, humility will get you. Exactly right, bro. Yeah, not being a dick. I don't know how you say it over in your part of the world, but in the United States, we say don't be a dick or an asshole. And you'd be surprised how much work you can get by not being an asshole. Stop to say good luck with the live stream. Thank you, Fredo. Appreciate it. On R10 now. What to upgrade to? I want full frame with IBIS. I would get an R6 Mark II or an R6 Mark III. You want a tip for camera? What kind of camera do you want? The Tori Nem? I have been hired over far more qualified people because I'm in. Yeah, exactly. You're easy to work with, and you're not all stuck. Yeah, 100%. That happens all the time, man. R6 Mark II or the R8? What do you think, Wiz? What do you think, Wiz? R6 Mark II for sure, man. For sure. I got caught filming football, shaking my head. Oh, I get you. I got you. Yeah, I would carry a bag, like even like a cheap grocery bag, like a disposable bag with some rubber bands helps. But they sell like on Amazon. They sell. I can probably look it up for you. I forget what they're actually called. But they're like rain covers, and some brands are nicer than others. I would get one that's fitted to your camera. Like they sell stuff like this, which is not like the greatest, but then they sell actual proper ones. Like this one. This is from Peak Design. This isn't gonna like completely keep water off of your lens, but in the elements, dude, I really don't recommend you taking out your camera unless you have a weather sealed camera and a weather sealed lens. I wouldn't be out there with this fucking shit. Yeah, you got to be adaptable, bro. You got to be adaptable, and they sell bigger ones. You know, they sell ones that are just like plastic bags. Like I've had these before in a pinch that are just like, they're just massive. You know, they're not shaped to the camera or anything, so it's pretty universal. Carry garbage bags. You know, you never know. A poncho. What are you using, man? Right now on TikTok, I'm using a ZVE 10-2. Yeah, I'm using a ZVE 10-2, and then I'm using an R50 on YouTube. Yeah, you got to get creative behind the lens. I don't know what situation that you're in, but you got to be prepared for anything, man. That's the kind of mistake that you only make once, or the something that you overlook over just once, right? Best lens for the ZVE one, whatever you're filming, depends. They sell full rubber ones. Yeah. Oh, Chester would be a good person to ask. Actually, what he uses for rain covers. Is your camera weather sealed, Chester? You're out in the elements all the time. Freya, what's up, Freya? Is the 7D Mark II a good option to upgrade? I don't know much about the D series, unfortunately, Freya. Gimbal question: RS3 Pro or RS4 or RS5? RS4 Pro, but mind you, I would get the RS5. I probably would wait for the RS5 Pro if you can afford it. I have the RS4 Pro. It just comes with a bunch of accessories. Hello, I've been looking to buy my first camera, around $300 budget, looking for something used. $300 is kind of rough, bro, not gonna lie. I would just be using a webcam or a cell phone until you can afford at least like $700. YouTube, cool. Chat, we getting mega aired. What does that mean, mega aired? What's the best camera for YouTube? I like the Canon R50V, not gonna lie. The R50V is good for a lot of things. Really, really good. What's your current camera and dream? I already own my dream camera, actually, the C50. The Canon. You guys want to see it? You guys want to see my dream camera? And what is your the current camera on YouTube? I'm using an R50. Thank you so much for the Galaxy. Woohoo! Air horns. Yeah, what camera do you use for your YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel? By the way, everybody that's in the TikTok land, I'm very close to 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm asking you for a favor. Hop over to YouTube real quick. I need 54 more subs to get to 4,000 subscribers. And I'm trying to get there by the end of this month, which is Wednesday, right? Is that Wednesday? I got one more day. I got today and tomorrow to get 54 subs. So if you guys can do me a solid and head over there to give me a sub, I would really appreciate it. It's gonna be like 1,000 though. Yeah, cameras are expensive. Dante, what up, Dante? Any good cine lens for Nikon ZR? Heard the Proximera is good, but would prefer Z mount. I don't know much about the Nikon Z mount, unfortunately, Dante. I do like, oh, we got a post. All right. Always post the post that comes up, guys. But it really depends on what you're trying to film, man. You know, people often ask like, hey, what's the best lens for this? What's the best lens for this camera? What's the best lens for that camera? And I always retort with, what are you doing? Are you like filming talking head videos? Are you streaming? Are you trying to snipe a plane from the sky? Are you trying to shoot birds? Like, what are you actually doing? Are you trying to be a lifestyle girly? Are you trying to be a gym bro? All of those details matter, you know, because every lens is made for a different use case. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Got a little cold in here. I got some roofers working on my roof today, and they're being extra noisy. Should I go tell them something? What's the best camera for YouTube? The R50V. I thought did I answer that already? I think I did. Yeah, R50V. R50V with a Sigma 16mm lens, I'd have to say. Monstamara. My camera and lenses are definitely weather sealed. Best tip is to have a run and gun lens, and your run and gun lens be internally telescopic. Yeah, that's a solid tip for sure. To not have to limit it from having dirt, mud, water in the crevices and all that stuff. I bought a 64 just a day ago. Was that a good decision? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Hi, may I know which cine lens is better for Canon R6 for cinematic videos? Cine lenses? I don't do a lot of work with cine lenses. The R6 Mark II, cinematic videos. What kind of cinematic videos? Like vlogging cinematic videos? I would probably do something like a 24mm f1.8 or a 35. Those are really nice lenses. Those are the RF STM lenses. They're budget, but they still work really nice. Yeah, vlogging. Yeah, I like the 24. I have both of them actually. I have the 35 right here. This is a really good lens for, I think this is a great lens for anybody to own on the RF system. The 35 is nice. If you want something super buttery, you can get something like the 45mm. That's this lens right here. This one is really nice as well. So the 24, the 35, and the 45 are really nice. The 50 is also a pretty decent one, but I think I would prefer, if I could have one, I think I would choose the 35. What do you think about the Canon R50? I'm using it right now, actually. The R50 is the horizontal one over here. I love the R50. Question on the C50, how you finding it been? Very curious about the camera. Are you using the 28-70? On my C50, I use the 15-35 a lot more. I've used the 28-70 once. It's nice. It's a great camera. I love it. It's great, dude. It's a top of the line cinema camera, you know? It's like an intro cinema camera. Canon RP. If you can find an RP for a solid price, that's what I would do. For sure. Thanks, your problem. What is that keyboard? This is a Logitech MX Keys, I think. I don't even know. I've bought several of them. I have multiple setups. I've bought several of them, not because this one breaks. I've had this one for years. But I've bought them because I have, how many desk setups? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 desk setups. They all use this keyboard. I just like them. They feel nice. The keys are nice and solid. What is the solution? By the way, guys, if you're interested in any of the gear that I am currently using, the way that you find it if you're on TikTok is by going to my profile page, hitting my profile page right here. And then my first link in bio, I have a little Amazon button right here. Boom, right at the top. You guys can see this. And this will take you to my storefront where I have everything that I own listed out. All of my YouTube setup, my cameras, my lenses, my camera bags, my filters, my mics, my SD, everything. Everything organized here for you so that you can go ahead and check it out. What is the solution for f00 on Sony a6000? I think you need a lens on it. I think you don't have a lens on your camera. f00 is typically when you don't have a lens on your lens mount. Is the ZV-E10 good? The first ZV-E10 is good for streaming. Yeah, for sure. What about if we use the 85 1.8? What 85 1.8 are you talking about? Camran films. I just buy the R50. Which lens do you recommend for portraits on the R50? I really like the Sigma lenses. If you have the R50, you should really check out the Sigma lenses. That's these guys right here. You want to do portraits? I would do the 30 millimeter right here. This one's pretty cheap, actually. I would do the 30 millimeter or the 56 millimeter, this one. These are pretty solid portrait lenses for the R50. Yeah, those are really good. RF. An 85 1.8 RF. I'm not familiar with that lens. I am using an R50 and a 50 millimeter lens. Can we use this for Senate? Try it, Ken. Try it. Did you try it? Try it. Ever reckon you'll dabble in FPV drones? I'm kind of afraid of drones. Maybe the one that really piqued my interest was the 360 one, but I do have a drone, a mini drone. But I was afraid of it. I want to take it like seriously and get like my license and stuff on it, but I haven't really pulled the trigger on it. I haven't worked towards that goal. I guess it's not really, it's a loose goal. It's kind of like off in the distance. RF Canon 85 millimeter at 1.8 for videos. I don't know that lens. I don't think I've ever heard of that lens. I do 35 millimeter. Yeah, 35 is nice, dude. 35 is nice. I was just showing the 35 actually. I bought the 35 millimeter lens for myself like 5-6 years ago. One of my most used lenses. I am a relative beginner in photography. I have an EOS R. Can you suggest a tripod for $70? Jay, if you go into my For You page, my profile page, my bio, there's a link in bio there. And I have all of the gear that I use listed right here, buddy. All listed right here. Is it, what category is it? I forget. I always forget. Lens, filters, and accessories. I need to create a tripod category is what I need to do. So I use anything K&F concept or small rig. I'm sure they have one for like $70 somewhere. Actually, I don't think the brand that you're looking for is K&F concept or small rig. They got, this one is $50, $42, so. The 35 1.8 is showing f0. It might be a manual lens, or your lens might be broken, unless it's a manual lens, right? Let's see. I reckon you'd really enjoy micro whoops or tiny whoop monopods. Yeah, there's a couple options. I've tried other lenses, still showing. Then your camera might be bad. I don't know. I'm not a camera technician. I've never. The only time I've seen f0.0 is when there's no lens and I'm using the lens cap. The only other time that I've seen f0.0, that's it. I've only ever seen f0.0 when the lens cap is on the camera. Shanendra, Osmo Pocket 3 or DJI Pocket 6. Very different cameras, very different purposes. No music. Yeah, I do like FPV. I think it'll make me motion. I get motion sickness really bad. So like I get sick in a car. Unfortunately, and not like throwing up sick, but I get like a headache. So I would imagine that like that's why I haven't messed around with FPV really, because I think I'd get like motion sickness and get like a headache. Nevon Clark, why can't we make a 35 to 50 1.8 or f2 like the Sigma 17 to 40? That lens would be great. They probably have something like that for crop. The 17 to 40 is nice though. Sigma might make something close to that. Yeah, they're probably, I mean, they all have all the market research. Maybe it's not possible, like physically possible to make that lens. Are you familiar with the Canon? I am. I like the M50. Ulanzi does make great accessories. There's Newer, which is probably at the bottom. Ulanzi, Small Rig, K&F Concept. There's a couple brands that stand above the rest. Actually, I got an email today from this brand, Tellison. You guys ever heard of Tellison? They want to send me over some DJI Pocket stuff, which is kind of weird because the Pocket 4 is coming out soon. So this brand right here reached out to me today. Tellison. They want to send me some accessories for the Pocket 3. And I said, send it on over. This, by the way, guys, is the way, I'm sure that there's other ways to do this, but the way that I found to work with brands is to start small. Reaching out to them and emailing their marketing department, and then just doing little gigs, and then eventually a year, 2 years, 3 years, and eventually they'll give you a little bit more opportunities over time. So yeah, they reached out to me. It's crazy because it's the email came from China, which is where they're based out of. Dang, yeah, maybe not then. Also, the F00 probably gives the contact. I was going to say that there's an issue with the contacts. I was going to say that. Yeah, whoever's having the issue with the F00 on the lens, the contact pins might not be connecting properly, or one got ripped off. You know what I mean? Julia, hello, Julia. Good morning. Good morning, Julia. You ready for the alarm? What's going on, YouTube? How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Julia, we're at 3,946 subscribers on YouTube. We did it, guys. We're close. Big Texas. Good morning, Big Texas. I found a DJI Ronin S gimbal on Facebook for 70. Is that how much it's worth? 70 seems, it's an old gimbal. $70 doesn't seem like anything though. If it's just 70 bucks, you know. Do you think the 28-70 f2 from Canon would still be a good buy today? Have not seen any new versions of. It's probably not going to get a new version anytime soon. Maybe, but it'll be like $4,000. I own that lens, by the way, TMJR. It's heavy, dude. Have you ever used it? It's heavy. It's fucking heavy. I call mine Big Bertha, aka Big Chungus, aka the thickest. Will the Pocket 4 be weather sealed in some way? Has to be. I don't think it'll be weather. It'll be weather resistant, maybe. It'll have an IP rating, but it won't be like, you won't be able to use it outside. Too many moving parts. Ulanzi listens to me and ideas. Chinese, yes, but guess they listen to ideas. Yeah, I like Ulanzi. Yeah. Hey, Big Texas in the house. Yeah, we got Big Texas here, man. What's going on over on your half of the United States, Big Texas? I have a Sigma 24-70 with the F00 Pro. Ooh, you guys got to check your contact pins. Does the lens work properly? It's just not reading the f-stop. Does that make sense? I love my R6 Mark III. So do I. Sense Photography. Thank you so much for the follow, Sense Photography. I got a couple packages from Amazon today. I'm going to be doing some BTS as well for a video that I'm prepping. What am I doing? I'm updating my living room studio. I'm adding another recording area over there. And I bought a new desk, a big ass, like 7-foot desk, 6 foot, maybe 72 inches, 74 inch desk that is going to go up against the wall that I'm going to use for like top down shots, recording B-roll stuff. Just a new angle, you know. It's heavy, but it was what I have missed for a while, having a 24-105 from Sigma first. Yeah, no, it's an awesome lens, dude. It's an awesome lens. What can do you have, man? It looks great. Thank you. What cam? Oh, this is on TikTok. This is a Sony ZV-E10 II with a Sure lens. It's a pretty nice lens. It's an expensive camera. Nice lens. Yeah, it's an expensive camera. What else do I got going on today? I want to edit a video that I've been putting off for a little while. I want to do that. I did want to focus on getting 4K today. So I'm going to probably do some more portfolio reviews later tonight. Because last night I got like 20 followers just from the portfolio reviews, which is great. And not everybody's going to stick around, which I get, but that's a big push, you know? Yeah, yesterday alone, check this out, guys. Yesterday alone, I got 20, I don't know if you guys can see that, 24 subscribers in one day, which is way above my normal. 24, yeah, 24 subs. The day before that was 10 and 16 before that. So the portfolio reviews are super helpful for that kind of stuff. What's your opinions on the Sony E versus RF mounts ecosystem? RF mounts are better. E mount is cheap. My wife is here with me. Hello, wifey of Alan. Can you tell her how important a 24-70 and it's not expensive? Well, first, I'm not gonna lie. 24-70 is incredibly expensive, but it is incredibly important. The 24-70 is part of the holy trinity of lenses that include the aforementioned 24-70, the 15-35, or 16-35 if you're on Sony, and the 70-200. Most photographers, creators, videographers need to at least have one of the holy trinity of lenses, if not all three of them, or at least working your way towards getting all of them, because it gives you a lot of coverage. It's pretty universal. It's used for a lot of different things. So a 24-70 is a must, an absolute must, but it's expensive. If you're looking for a cheaper option, you can buy one from Sigma, or Tamron, I think, makes one, if I'm not mistaken, but it depends on the lens mount that you have. The Sigma Art 24-70 is really nice, and it's about $1,000 cheaper, I think, if I remember correctly. How much is the Sigma Art, you guys? Sigma Art. And Alan, don't you ever make me lie to your wifey, bro. I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna have you sleeping with the dogs. Don't you ever put me in that position. Yeah, Sigma Art right here. If you look at this, Sigma Art is, bro, 13 right here, $1,400. Solid, dude. Versus the native mount. All right, so let's look at a G Master. G Master Sigma. I think that one's like $2,500, right? 24-70. 24-70 G Master. Whoo, bro, it really is $1,000. Yeah, it's the art lens is $1,319, which is a solid lens, dude. Solid lens. So you can get the Sigma, the off-brand one, which is still a great lens, or you can get the G Master for $1,000 more. Yeah. She said to tell you that I have the 20. Those are all primes, though. That's different, though. What I would do, man, unless you're using all of those, I'd get rid of one of them and put it towards the 24. If I was you, is the 100 a macro? What body do you have, Alan? Is the 100 a macro? If the 100 is a macro, I'd keep that. I'd get rid of the 80, and I'd probably get rid of the 24. Yeah, I'd get rid of the 80 and I'd get rid of the 24, and then I would buy the 24-70. That should get you pretty close. You know what I mean? Starting out with a R50V. Nice, dude. R50V is solid. Should I commit with Canon or consider Sony down the line? Canon is the best, dude. Canon is the best. You have a Lumix? Oh, S5 2X, sick. Ooh, so yours might not be that expensive, right? Because you have the L mount. How much is the L mount? 24 to 70. That's what I would do. I would keep the macro. I would keep the macro and get rid of the 80 and the 24. Just because you're going to get the 24 to 70 in this lens, right? Unless you don't want to get rid of anything and you're just a greedy bastard. 24 to 70. And you're hoarding your stuff like, what's the guy from Lord of the Rings? My precious. What's his name? L mount. Like your fucking, what's his name? Uh, 100 is the macro. Looking to get a second cam. For video, should I get an A7V or an FX3? Currently have the FX30. I would get the FX30, bro. Or the FX3, excuse me. Gollum, yeah, unless you're like Gollum. Thank you, Chester. Trade at MPB. Yeah, or you can trade at your local store, you know. Typically, like, you know, if you go to a local camera shop, they give you a close to what MPB would give you. Pretty close. I need help catching the GR5 in stock. I would set some Google alerts. That's what I would do. I don't got a local store. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I forgot, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. Oh, so here's the Panasonic. Ooh, she's expensive, dude. 24 to 70. Cheaper than the Sony, though. Yeah. That's what I would do, Alan. I'd get rid of your 24 millimeter, unless they're worth pennies. Unless the trade-in value is like less than a couple $100, I would probably keep them. But yeah, get rid of your 80, get rid of your 24, and get this guy right here. Yeah, that's what I would do. What camera are you using right now? I'm using, if you're on TikTok, I'm using a ZVE, Sony ZVE 10-2. And on YouTube, I'm using, by the way, if you're hanging out over on TikTok, I need you to do me a solid. Head over to my YouTube channel. You head to my YouTube channel just by hitting my profile page and then hitting the first link in bio and then hitting the little YouTube button that'll take you to my YouTube channel. I am this close to hitting 4,000 subs and I need your guys' help. I need your guys' help, please. Trying to get there to 4,000 by the end of March. Head over there and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out long form videos, so it's different content than what you see on TikTok. And if you like camera stuff, you're going to like my videos. I guarantee it. Oh, that was like the, that one, that guy that talks about suits. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. Yeah, let's close out some of these windows. Best wide angle lens, 15 to 35. Digital camera or mirrorless, which is good for beginner? Any, either one. Buy what you can afford, Iman. What is the wide angle lens for vlogging? 16 millimeter. 16 or 12 is good. If you're looking for a nice vlogging lens, there's this lens right here, the 10 to 18 from Sigma. This one right here is really nice. Any Men's Warehouse? Was it Men's Warehouse? I thought it was Joseph A. Bank. It could be Men's Warehouse though. Do you think the 24 to 70 is worth it or should I save? I think you should go for the 105, bro. The 24 to 105 for sure. For sure. It is worth it, but I guess, you know, Mr. Texas, you got the big bucks. What's the price difference, right? Like, what is the price difference between them? I think it's like $1,000. If it's that much, I would be like, oof. If it's less than 1,000, like 500 bucks, I would be like go for the bigger one, you know? 24 to 70 RF. Yeah, so the 24 to 70 RF is 25, which is a lot of money. That's more expensive than the G Master. Jesus. or the 24 to 105. Whoo, $700 difference, bro. Yeah, so $32.99. This lens is on my list, though. I'm gonna own this lens one day. This lens will be mine. $32.99, $3,300. Jesus, versus 25. So what's that price difference, Big Texas? I think it's worth it. What did I say? 500, between 5 and under 1,000. I would consider it for sure. Yeah, for sure. R6 III or A7 V? It depends on what you like, really. I like the R6 III, but the A7 V is great as well. It's like Apple versus Samsung, you know? Apple is Sony, by the way, in this analogy. Do you think that is a good opportunity to buy a ZV-E10 for $600? That's how much they cost, I think. It's not really an opportunity, that's just what they cost. Just bought an A7 R5. Nice, dude. Is that okay? Hell yeah. Why not full frame? I don't know what your question is. Plan on buying an XD2C. Nice. If you can afford it, dude, buy what you want. Big Texas. Yeah, bro, it might be, you know what, when I look at lenses like this, broski, that are in this price range, I look at it endearingly with like loving eyes and like longing eyes, like at a distance. And then I think about Christmas. I'm like, Christmas time. I'm going to save up my little gold coins and mow a couple extra lawns. Beans and rice. I think a lot about beans and rice. Beans and rice with tortillas and a little bit of quesito, you know, in the morning. Maybe cut back on my lattes on my way to work. That's what I think about. I think about Christmas. And then this song right here. I think about robbing a bank. Texas, bad. That's bad, Texas. Come back. I have a Canon R5. Should I buy a C50 or R6 Mark III? Depends on what you're doing, CJ. If you do a lot of video, I would probably do the C50. If your work is a lot more hybrid, then the R6 Mark III for sure. I have both of those cameras, by the way. All three of those, actually. I bought a Sony A7 IV. Nice, good for you. Can I use the ZV-1F for street photography? You can use anything you want for anything. You just have to believe in yourself. Wow. Wow. I got my ski mask ready. Bro, I'm recording these lives, by the way, so if it ever comes to it, man, I'm turning your ass in, Big Texas. I'm turning. I can see the dog staring into the sun when I hear the song. That's actually the button that I have on my thing. I don't know. Can you guys see it? Probably not with my camera. Yeah, I have the little button for the little dog. Rooter, what's up, Rooter? How are you? Do you recommend me an A7 III for video? I think that thing will overheat on you. It depends on what kind of stuff you create. Uh, 28 people over on TikTok. Hello, TikTok world. How are ya? How are ya? Not getting an alibi. No, I'm telling immediately. You're going to jail. I'm calling you, Big Texas, and I'm saying, Texas, you're going to jail. I know who did it. He's right there. I have a Fujifilm X-T2. Would it be much of an upgrade for the Sony A7R III? What are you looking for the A7R III? You want the megapixels? What is the XT2 Mega XT2 Fuji XT2? Let's look at it. Whoops. I don't know where I typed Fuji XT2. Probably, bro. Also the what's it called? Yeah, dude. It's any R camera has like at least 40 to 50 megapixels, so it's a huge leap. And it's a full frame too compared to this crop sensor. So it depends if you want the megapixels, you know? I have a Sony A7 IV. Should I get a Canon R5? What's wrong with your Sony, bro? There are roofers on my house right now doing some changing out the roof, or is that what they say? Putting in a new roof. And my cats are all freaking out. They're all like, they don't know what the fuck's going on. Ooh woo. Ooh woo. Thank you for the ooh woos. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Doing good today. Doing good today. What camera are you using right now? Right now I'm using on TikTok the Sony ZV-E10 II, and on the YouTube world. By the way, everybody hanging out on TikTok, go over to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Do it. Do it now. I am 54 away from getting to 4,000 subscribers. Also, if you're on YouTube, hello YouTube world. Everybody on TikTok, say hello to YouTube. They can all see you. YouTube's quiet usually though. I appreciate that. How are we doing over on Kick? Yeah, trying to get to 4,000 subs by the end of March. And I need your help, TikTok. I need your help, TikTok. Hey, YouTube. Michael P. Living. Good morning, Michael. How are you, bro? How was your weekend? Weekend was good, man. Weekend was good. By the way, did you guys want to see the pictures that I edited last night or yesterday? Or did I already show you guys? It was for my last photo walk. I finally edited them. They turned out okay. Uh-oh. Did I delete them? I might have deleted them. No, I don't think I deleted them. Camera dumps, TikTok projects, live photo editing. Uh-oh, I don't know where I put them. Where were they? I might have deleted them. I didn't delete them, but I put them somewhere. Anyways, you guys can't see them. I'm not gonna spend any time looking for where I dropped them. Where were they? Interesting. Do you use Camlink? I do use Camlink. Yes, I do. I don't think I saw the final product. My house is shaking. Those guys are being really aggressive. You're freaking out my cats. I can show you on Lightroom, you guys. I'll bring up Lightroom real quick. Is it this one? Lightroom. There it is. Everybody can see that? Everybody can see Lightroom there? Let's see. Yes, I don't think. Do you use Camlink? I do. Nice to see your shoot. Yeah, this is the cameras right here. How much is an R6 Mark II usually? I think like $2,500. Vic, if you would be so kind to tell Big T, yes, I'm here. Yeah, Big Tex. Chester's over here. Chester's on Twitch. Chester's hanging out on Twitch, and I appreciate you for hanging out on Twitch. You're my only viewer. Three viewers on Twitch. Look at us. Wow. 0 on Kick. Womp womp. That's okay. That's all right. So these are the photos that I did on a photo walk. I did these photos Thursday. I took, how many photos did I take? On Thursday, I went out, spent about an hour doing street photography, and I came back with 673 photos. 48 of them I actually liked and edited. This one I'm gonna probably work on a little bit more. I did like this picture. I wish this guy wasn't back behind her, but I thought this picture was okay. None of these pictures gonna win awards. This is one of my favorite pictures because this guy saw me and he like motioned me with a camera like he wanted a picture of him and his wifey. So I obviously I obliged. It came out okay. Little dog. What kind of dog is this? A cockerdoodle? Cocker spaniel? And then I met Jesus. Jesus was there. And this guy was the antithesis of Jesus. Chester's over on Kick too. Appreciate it, Chester. This guy was playing a piano. Pretty cool photo, I think. Judas, is that you? I think it's Satanas. How different is the 4K 2430 footage from 4K 60 in Canon R50V dynamic range? I don't know. I actually don't know. The 4K, I can tell you that the 4K 60 on the R50V is cropped though. So I don't use 4K 60 on that camera very often. I do use the 60, but I put it in 1080p. Then I saw this guy with his dog. These are my favorite photos from this set right here. Yeah, the photo came out nice. I thought the photo came out nice. Thank you, Rooters. These were probably my favorite photos from the set right here with the pink cherry blossoms. These people right here, this dog is obviously looking at me. And then these three people are looking at this neighbor up here. So that photo came out nice. I was having fun with this edit right here. I think I overcooked it a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna need these in a print. You know what, Julia? Whenever I get a printer from one of these brands, I'm gonna send you one, so that way you can print your photos. And then I love cherry blossoms are my favorite. It's my favorite time of the year, so I always go hunting for like cherry blossoms. Nice pictures. Thank you. Cherry blossoms are cool, bro. What site do you use to get camera gear? I get a lot of my accessories from Amazon, B&H Photo, Adorama, no, not Adorama, KEH, MPB, and also my local camera store. This photo would be better if the subjects were turned around the other way. What's the best camera to get? Budget is $2K. Probably the A7 IV or the R6 Mark II. I think is around $2,000. Yeah, this was a nice little I was pleasantly surprised when I ran into this little alleyway. It was the only alley because it took me like, I walked like 6-7 blocks to get to where I was getting to, and it was the only alleyway that was like concentrated in cherry blossoms. Everywhere else they had maybe 1 or 2 stragglers. Yeah, portraits are good. When I go out to do street photography and I'm trying to photograph people, I try my best to capture the people's faces. So like I do try to do that whenever possible. This is the city, Philadelphia. This is a car that I saw that you guys were nerding out. By the way, for those of you guys that are in here, I did do these photo walks live on TikTok. So you guys get to see like behind the scenes, the process of me walking around the city and learning about the process of me taking a photo and like my thinking and like what I'm looking for and, you know, just a little bit of behind the scenes. And then I saw this dog right here. I think this is a Shiba Inu, right? Look at his tail. His tail is so funny. It's like a little nub. This is the building that I work in, actually. My office is on the other side of this building. It is, it's a nice building. It's a nice building. And then I saw this dog right here. And then I posted this photo yesterday, actually, on Instagram. It did really well. I think this right here could be a wallpaper, you know, so I could edit this. This is, by the way, this was taken with an R5 Mark II and a 70-200. Here, I'll show you the camera, actually. That's this camera right here, the R5 Mark II. And I also took BTS with an Insta360 camera. Why I'm showing you this camera and like why it's important is because of this right here. Like this right here, I cropped it in already once, but the 45 megapixels lets you get into these photos. Like it really does a lot. Something that has 24 or 30 megapixels won't let you do this from edge to edge. Like I can go from corner to corner of the photo and really have some great detail preserved. And that's what you get from having like a super high megapixel sensor. 45 isn't the highest. Sony's have like 60. Some cameras have like 100, but I can't imagine what the 45 is a nice balance. 60 is insane. 100 is diabolical. Diabolical megapixel count. So those are the photos, guys. Those are the photos. See? I did good. I did good. Yeah, we did good. We did good on that one. You edited the BMW? Yeah, it looked like poo. It looked like poo. It was really dirty. Nice pictures. Cherry blossoms are cool. Yeah, cherry blossoms are cool. Cherry blossoms are cool. By the way, guys, I did put a poll over on the YouTube world. I said 10 votes so far. What kind of live content do you want to see? 0% of you said live editing. Damn. That's all that I do. 20% said live portfolio reviews. 70% of you said general camera conversations, and 10% of you said how to make money with your camera. So the people have spoken. The people have spoken. Chico Rigo, what camera are you using right now, bro? This is a on TikTok. This is a Sony ZV-E10 II. Portfolio reviews. Yeah, I'm gonna do portfolio reviews a couple more times tonight and tomorrow. They're gonna be free. They are gonna be on YouTube though. So if you're interested in a portfolio review, you need to subscribe on the YouTube channel. And then after that, they're not gonna be free. They're gonna be for paid members only. I might do some free ones here or there, but they won't be as frequent. So I haven't voted because I think I prefer a mix. Yeah, so those are Michael P. Libby. Those 4 topics are really the ones that I kind of want to cover on my live. So I'll do a mix of them. But I put that poll question up to kind of like, not to eliminate any, but to kind of get a pulse check, you know, to see what people are feeling. Just wanted to say, Vic, by the way, been dealing with Zucado and they are a dream, man. Who's Zucado? Good advice to go with them. Just asked for the best pricing and now walking away with a massive. Is Zucado a brand or something that sells cameras? I don't think is that available out here in the States, in the United States? They do have a United States website. The Zucado story. It looks cool. I'll have to check these guys out. The way that I check new services out is I buy something from them, you know. If I'm ever looking for something, I'll favorite this. And then I will if I'm ever in the market for something, I'll look. This looks like pretty intense though. Like actual production. Do they make their own products or are they resellers? What do they do? Yeah, they make their own gear. Osmo Pocket 3 light clip and powerful. Oh, they make a bunch of shit. They even make bidets. Look at this. I'll have to check it out. What do you think about the Canon 2000D? Not much. I don't think much about those cameras. Unfortunately. Not unfortunately, just I don't really deal too much in the D cameras. Henry. They are equipment brand based in the US. Got it. I'll have to check them out. They are made and manufactured in US with lifetime warranty. Oh, that sounds good. Big Texas is back. All right. Appreciate it, bro. Did you ever decide on a camera for wifey, Big T? How did my photo perform yesterday? 13 likes. Woohoo! I think my cat's finally calmed down. The roof is not as scary anymore. The T7, got it. I do know that in some places they changed the name of them. Let's find out. 2000D, right? I think it is the T7. Yeah, Rebel T7. So, I might buy this camera. I might buy one. Make that 14 likes. Yes! We're on our way, boys. We're on our way. Yeah, I might buy this camera, like the T7. I might get the T7i just to like say that I have it. And then I can talk shit about it, you know? If I can find it for like under $500, I might just buy it. Just for shits and giggles. And it'll give me a reason to buy some EF glass, you know? I don't know. I think she wants a point and shoot. That checks out, dude. That checks out for wifey. That checks out. The PowerShot, the V1. The Canon PowerShot V1 is what I would recommend. That came out in December. I think I recommended that camera as well while I was telling you about other ones. I was like, she might just want a point and shoot, bro. But you did say that she wanted it for content creation, which this is still good. Yeah, I would buy this. Yeah, I would buy something like this. Not crazy expensive. Has everything. Has everything that you want, you know. Image sensor. 24 megapixels. 4K. I think it shoots 4K 30, 1080, 60. Oh, it also has a fan in it, which is really cool. Has a flippy screen. Yeah, I think I did talk to you about this camera. This is pretty much all you need for wifey. And she can still create her content with it. She's not going to get the best image out of it because it's a fixed lens. The lens, so you know, is a 16 to 50 millimeter f2.8 to 4.5, which is not terrible, but you know, at 16 millimeters, she's going to be at 2.8. Franklin Clissy, thank you for the follow. Oh, look. Hey, homie, I can share your stream. You guys send the same message. There's like 4 or 5 people that have sent me the exact same message. One guy was offering me $2,000 per stream, Franklin. Do you recommend the Canon R50 for a newbie? I do. Canon R50 for noobs is great. Canon RP with a kit lens. I don't like the kit lens. She likes using her phone for content creation. I bought a DJ and pocket. She don't use it. Yeah. So if you buy her anything, bro, she's probably not going to use it, man. If she just likes using her phone, because a phone is hard to beat, bro. If people find success with a phone, it's really tough for them to like be bothered with like learning something that's going to create a better image. I can guarantee you though that if somebody does learn that's like really good at content creation, if they spend some time like learning a proper camera, their stuff is only going to get better. But there's a guy on here that comes on, I think his name is Ben's Tech Channel. He sells these power stations that like are strong enough to like power your home in like a power outage. And each of those fucking units cost like $4,000 or $5,000, maybe $2,000-$3,000. And they're like power banks, right? To like power your home, like your refrigerator and shit like that. He uses his cell phone to sell that stuff. And like he wanted to try using a camera and he just didn't like the image of he had a Canon R3. A Canon R3 with Big Bertha 28 to 70 f2. And he said, I'd rather just use my cell phone. And then at the end of it, I'm like, well, what's the goal here? He said he wanted a better image. I was like, well, you're going to get a better image with the proper camera. But then at the end of the conversation, it was like, I kind of circled back. I was like, the goal isn't to get a better image. You want more sales, right? He's like, yeah, more sales. I'm like, then why would you fucking change what's working? Like if you get 10% of $2,000, $4,000, that's $200, $400 respectively, depending on the model that you sell, and you can do that through a cell phone. Why would you change? You know. So anyways, I went on a little bit of a rant there. Is like, if you have found success with a specific, like a cell phone or an action camera, why add complexity to your setup? If something already works, just continue using what works, you know, unless you truly are serious about wanting to improve your image quality. But he just thought that improving your image quality would bring in more sales when he's already having a lot of success doing that. So you gotta kind of balance your expectations. Like, also, if you're not used to like proper cameras, you just think a proper camera operates like a cell phone, and it doesn't. You know, Julia in here was using her cell phone for a while, and she got a camera recently, and she's somebody that we can ask. Julia, what do you think of using your cell phone versus using your M50? Like, give me your impressions on it. It's not just pointing the camera and taking a picture. There's a couple things that you have to like, you have to solve for. Just follow. Thank you for the follow. Goose, what up, Goose? Suggestions for a affordable cam for outdoor golf YouTube. Nice, bro. I would probably do the R50V. That's a really nice camera. Depends on what you define as affordable, Goose. What you choose between Fujifilm or R50? I would choose a Fujifilm. Do I keep the Canon R7 with the 70 to 200 2.8 or switch to Sony and Tamron? Unless you have a problem with the R7, I would stick with the R7. If you look at the R7 and compare it to the 6700, the R7 is a better camera. Editing is different, 100%. At first, I was like, man, my phone is good enough. Wasn't hard to get used to the change, just needed to use it. Exactly, just repetition. Just repetition. But the photos do come out a lot better. They come out with more character, and there's a lot more behind a photo. And I think that even comes out even more when you print out your photos. Like when you hold a print of your own photo, you're like, wow, this is like literally like a cat. It's different than looking at it on your screen. Not to get all cheesy and sentimental on you, but like holding something that you created is kind of cool. Gabriel, Osmo Pocket or the ZVE10 or Nikon Z6 for IRL and vlogs? All three are very different cameras, bro. I definitely wouldn't choose the ZVE10. Maybe the ZVE10 too. What's easier for you to use, Gabriel? I don't know much about IRL vlogs and like what is required for. Are you trying to do streaming IRL, like real-time streaming? I don't know all the things you need for that, unfortunately. Buying an expensive camera and lens does not mean you will get good. Exactly, 100%, dude. There's a lot more to photography. Exactly right. Best flash for camera, Godox. Anything from Godox. R6 II or FX30? Hugo, depends on what you're doing, bro. What webcam are you using? I'm using a Sony ZVE10 II on TikTok. And I'm using an R50 on YouTube. R50V Canon. Thoughts on Canon? Had a few step backs as far as video. Canon has not had a few steps back in terms of video recording. Yes, streams. Yeah, Gabriel, unfortunately, bro, I don't know how to connect. I've never done it. That's why I don't know how to connect cameras to IRL streaming. I've never had to do that. So I would be looking for how to set up the whole connection. How do those guys set up their whole... What's their setup look like? Let's ask Google. What kind of setup do you need for IRL streaming? So I'd be researching that and kind of making my decision off of that. The three cameras that you said though are three very different cameras. So you need portable, reliable solution to broadcast video over cellular data. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. But how do you connect? Includes camera, GoPro, Sony action camera, robust battery, stabilized mount. Yep. More advanced setups use bonded cellular modems, a dedicated encoder. Yeah, live view, a backpack for high quality uninterrupted streaming. Yeah, I need to research all this to kind of see, like, how do you connect your camera to your backpack? So different when I sent the folder off to... Oh, you sent the photos over to from the shoot? Oh, did you edit the photos you did for her? That's cool. Picked up my first mirrorless. Congratulations, Ant. You did it. You did it. Well, my photos are much better than most photographers around here with cheap gear. Bro, you do not have cheap gear, bro. You do not have cheap gear, broski. You have like dream setups on dream setups, broski. RP versus R10. I would do the R10. Well, my photos are much better. Yep. R10 for sure. Just photos for now. I have a 64 and I'm trying to learn it. But I want it to be cinematic looking. What does cinematic mean, AC? What does cinematic mean? What does that mean? Define it for me. I did in Lightroom mainly. Yeah, Lightroom's great. Lightroom is it. I need to send you my presets. I forgot where they are. So what gear should I use to make shooting with my iPhone better? An ND filter. I think the best way to improve the footage coming at the video from an iPhone footage is solid though. You know, what are you having trouble with? The professional photographers around here do have cheap gear and the images quality don't compare. Oh, they have cheap gear. Yeah, bro, if you're in a small market, bro, fucking start charging $500 to $1,000 for your photos, man. Easy. Just got to get out there. If you got the time, you know, you got a full-time job. You got a full-time job. And plus, you live out there in Texas, bro. You got Latinos everywhere, man. Everybody's having a quinceañera. Everybody's getting married. Everybody's having babies. You got tons of opportunities out there, man. What lens should I get for sports photography besides more budget friendly? That's the one. 70 to 200. Maybe you can get a 70 to 180. But that's the lens. That's the lens that you get for sports, dude. I guess the resolution. Yeah, AC, the reason why I ask is because people want to say like cinematic as like, what does that mean? That's very like a, like what do you define that, right? If you're talking about like making a movie that looks like Michael Bay produced it, or the guy that did Interstellar, like that's when I think of cinema. And like for you to have a camera that you can hold in your hand and want to reproduce something that looks like that is kind of like a pretty unreasonable expectation. Can you make good footage look good? Yeah, and you have a decent camera already, so I would probably be looking at learning buying a better lens with like a shallower depth of field, because typically what people mean by cinematic is that they want background separation. So I would buy like a brighter lens, like an f1.4, f1.8, f2.8, right around there. And then I would learn a couple of different skills like composition, storytelling, and proper lighting. Probably focus on lighting first, and then composition second, and then storytelling. But all of those four things that I mentioned, a better lens, lighting, composition, and storytelling, you can make a cinematic piece. You know what I mean? I like making art, not money with my camera. Not everything is about money, bro. If you want to, yeah, you could. You already have a job though, bro. You already have a job, so. And if I remember correctly, Big Texas, you did want to make money with your camera up until unless something changed. But if you don't want to make money and you just want to shoot pretty stuff, man, then shoot pretty stuff. And then shoot pretty stuff. For me, I want to make money with my cameras, and that's what I do. All right, so now extra income wouldn't hurt. Come on, either pick one or the other. Either you want to be artsy fartsy, Big Texas, or you want to make fucking money, bro. One or the other. One or the other. You can't be like Pick one or the other, Big. If you want to be artsy fartsy and you want to, go to Starbucks and drink a latte and write in your notebook, then fucking do that. If you want to make money, then make fucking money, bro. Pick one. Jesus Christ. I want to make art. Shut the fuck up, bro. One or the other, Big Texas. I want that money. Exactly, dude. Exactly, dude. Yeah, and it's nothing wrong with being artsy fartsy, dude. If there's nothing wrong with being artsy fartsy, if you want to be artsy fartsy, that's cool too. Sometimes I just want to. I use my Fujifilm when I want to be artsy fartsy. That's the camera that I use to like not make money with, you know. Oh shit! Facebook is calling me. You see this, guys? I don't know if you guys can see. What does Facebook want? Yeah, I at first I also didn't want to make money with my cameras as well, Big Texas. But then I really started to enjoy it, and I realized that the gear that I wanted cost a lot of money. And then I started making really good money with it. And then I was like, wow, I love this. I love the money. I love the money, and I love the work that I do. So it was a lot better than like my 9 to 5, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you want to leave your job for doing something creative? Big Texas, I think you need to do some more internal dialogue with yourself and figure out what's happening over there, Big Texas. You're flip-flopping, Big Texas. I want to do more weddings. Weddings, man, I hate weddings, dude. Weddings are cool, but they're not my favorite, dude. I don't like the pressure. I like more commercial work. I like commercial work, and I like working with brands that my work, the stuff that I do for them, generates them more income. I just bought the R6 Mark II in Japan. Nice, dude, from a used store with a great deal. Now I'm ready to go to work. Get it, bro. What were you doing in Japan? That sounds great, dude. I have a dream to go to Mount Fuji with my Fuji and take photos of the stuff over there. I think I need to apply to work with Nat Geo. Hell yeah, dude. Why the hell not, dude? Yeah, 6 hours shooting. Yeah, 6 hours shooting. I did a wedding one time, and it was like 10 hours, dude. Military. My hubby is active duty. Got it. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. You got to travel. Have you gone to Mount Fuji? That's where I would be. I'd be photographing everything. I just watched one of my favorite content creators. He was over in Japan for a convention, a camera convention. You remember the story when the photographer got angry and deleted everything because they didn't give him food? I do remember. I think there were some other things going on too that they didn't pay him. But in all fairness, anytime I've done 4 weddings in my life, and every single time I've asked and included that I get a plate. So I've worked with me as the lead photographer. I worked with a second and an assistant, and I've included in my cost plates for them. I didn't ask for us to have our own table, but I did ensure that everybody had a plate and a drink included in that time. Never did anybody say, oh, no way. Everybody was like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. Like if you guys need to eat and food and drink and stuff, like that's no problem. Thoughts on Jimmy? I like Jimmy Chin. Jimmy Chin is the guy that does like a lot of like rock climbing and hiking and stuff, right? He's pretty impressive, dude. Does he have an Instagram? You guys ever seen Jimmy Chin's work? He's a pretty intense photographer. Jimmy Chin. So he's out in like the fucking the Himalayas and shit. He's doing some pretty intense stuff. Let's get some photo stuff for him. Like what, dude? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go photograph a volcano that's erupting. Where do you recommend to buy a camera online? If you're in the United States, I like MPB. I also like B&H and KEH. I'm stationed in Yashuka. Where's your husband stationed at? Cyclist photographer. In Suriname, I get lots of food. Most often, I will ask to take the food home, but I almost... Oh, yeah, always get food, dude. Always. But it was surprising when I did hear that story about the photographer that didn't get food and then got denied food. That's kind of weird. You can put together a plate for somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think Jimmy Chin uses Canons, doesn't he? I think he does use Canons. But he uses old Canons like 5D Mark IVs. Have you ever seen The Secret Life? I've seen bits of it. That's with one of the Stillers, right? Ben Stiller. Yo, I finally got the RS4 Mini. Nice, Harry Drew. Good for you, man. What'd you think? Do you like it? I love my little RS4 Mini. He reminds me of photographer from Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Living like that, man, is a goal for me for sure. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. He's American. Haven't shipped. I will watch your video when it does. Oh, nice. Did I make a video on it? I don't know if I did. Yeah, Jimmy Chin is pretty epic, dude. I've seen a lot of his stuff. I think he has a documentary too, right? I wonder if he has a YouTube channel. Oh, wait, hold on. I did Google him. Jimmy Chin. I'm sure he does. Yeah, he has a couple of Edge of the Unknown with Jimmy Chin. I'm gonna have to watch this. Oh, National Geographic. Look at this.
As a professional now.
I'm definitely gonna how do I add something to my list? Save. Watch later. I'll have to watch that later. It's a Ben Stiller movie that revolves. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I need to watch that. I don't think I've seen it. Where can I watch it, actually? That might be a good movie for me to watch. Facebook. What do you want, Facebook? Do I have a call with them? I don't think so. I have a call. Oh, it might be them, actually. Let me see. No, I don't have a call with them. I think I have a call next week. If they call again, I'll answer. Because I might have a call with them today. I haven't shipped Ben Stiller. Think so. I volunteered 5 hours for a shoot and have to edit everything. Secret Life is must watch for sure. That and Surf's Up. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. The reason why Facebook is calling me is because I have a verified account, and when you have a verified account, they help you out with stuff. I do. One part of my job is to create ads for the company that I work for. And whenever we have new ads launching, I like to set up calls with Facebook so that they can give me some advice on the ad settings, because ad settings are like really important. If you have ads running on Facebook and you don't know what you're doing, it's like you can waste a lot of money. So I did launch a new set of ads on Facebook for the business that I work for 2 weeks ago. And that's why I get calls with are Facebook ads good? Yeah, they're great. You just need to have the right settings. You know, you can learn everything that you need pretty much on YouTube University, but when you have a verified account, you get a couple calls a month with them, and I take them up on that to like, hey, how does this look? Hey, how does this look? They always just want you to spend more money usually, but it's good to chat with them. But they are good. They're expensive. Ads are expensive. But they pay for themselves. You just need to optimize your offer. You know, you need to do a lot of iterations of your ad to find one that works. All right, Chester, thanks for hanging out, broski. Would you say Facebook ads are worth it? It depends if you have an optimized ad. Once you have an optimized ad that converts and you can put some real dollars behind it, they definitely work for sure. For sure. even boosting your post. So there's a difference between like boosts and then like actually running ads. Ads are incredibly sophisticated and they require a lot more like more than surface layer knowledge of how ads work. And then there's boosts, and then boosts you can do pretty cheaply. Who has the best point and shoot? Can't Sony? You know what, Big Tech? That's a good question. Sony does have a really nice one. It's the but it is a Sony though. That's the problem. I think it's called the Sony RX. Oh, but it's well, here, I'll show it to you. I can't remember how much this one costs. I think this one was really expensive. Oh, no, it isn't. This one. RX7. It is expensive, but this is probably like the dream point and shoot for a lot of people. It's pretty impressive. Check this out. It has a 200 millimeter to 24 to 200 millimeter lens. And that's wild. The RX7 is wild too. The RX7, I think that's the one I was thinking of that's like crazy expensive. That one's like 6-7 grand. Let's look at that one. Sony RX7. Is it this one? I forget. No. What is it called? Is it the RX7? I forget. Sony point shoot. What happens? There is one that's like 7 grand. It's this one. Here it is. This one's ridiculous though. This one doesn't make any fucking sense. This one might not be a point and shoot though. That looks like an interchangeable lens, isn't it? Yeah, but look, it has 61 megapixels. I would say for the average Joe, like the regular consumer, this guy right here. Again, dude, Sony's crazy expensive, man. I don't know whoever said that Sony was cheaper. It's not. It's expensive. But this one does have 24 to 200 millimeters. Yeah. What about the mega? This one is 20 megapixels. But it's a point and shoot. It's a point and shoot, and it reaches 200 millimeters, which is wild. So it's 200 millimeters on a crop sensor. So what would that be? So it's actually 300 millimeters. Yeah, myphotosuck.com. Yeah, these ones right here, this one's nuts. Like this one is like, I think a ridiculous price. $5,000 for this is kind of crazy. I think you're better off to buy a different camera. This is for like people that have like fuck you money, you know. The Fuji GFX is also pretty good. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that a point and shoot though. I have a Canon M50 with a lot of lenses, but I'd like to shoot more 4K video. Okay, you should do it. That's crazy. Fuji is cheaper than that. Yeah, but Big Texas was asking for a point and shoot, so that's why we were looking at these ones. This one's ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. This one is out of they're out of their mind with this one. Somebody mentioned GFX. Yeah, somebody did mention GFX. What's up, Negative View Photo? How are ya? What would you recommend as my next camera? What do you have right now? Oh, you're talking about the one that looks like, yeah, that one's a medium format though, right? Yeah, I forgot about that Fuji. Is that really a point and shoot? Would you call that a point and shoot, or are we lying to ourselves? I guess we can call it a point and shoot, right? It's such a funny shape. Yeah, we can call this a point and shoot. $5,600 though, dude. Fuck, dude. Do you have a photo printer? I do. I do. The R50 isn't 100 meg. You are correct. The 100 XRF is a point and shoot. Yeah, I think it passes the point and shoot category. It passes the point and shoot definition. I don't know. I kind of feel I'm like comparing it to the X100-6, and I'm like, is that really a point and shoot? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was still 6K. Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy expensive, dude. 100 megapixels is wild though, man. A what's it called? A medium format camera is crazy. $6,000 is crazy. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Personally, I would, what'd you say? Personally, I would like the X100-6 over it. Really? I like my X100-6. 100 megapixels, medium format too, bro. Medium format is like wild. Medium format at 100 megapixels. How much is one photo in terms of storage space? Is it like 1 gig per photo? Let's ask Google. On average, how many MBs is a medium format image on a 100 MP medium format sensor on a 100 megapixel sensor? I'm gonna guess like half a gig. 200 megabytes. So a quarter of a gig. A lot, dude. So what is that? 5 photos is a gigabyte? Is that accurate, or did I get that wrong? 200 MB per photo, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so 4 to 5 photos is a gig. So if you have a 500 gigabyte SD card, what is that? Like 2,000 photos, which is still a lot. But it's not as it's a lot, dude. It's a lot. Normal photos I think are in the double digits, like 15 or 22, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even the JPEGs are huge too. The dynamic range in a medium format. Yeah, oh no, that's absolutely insane, dude. I'm not saying a medium format is nuts. Medium format is absolutely nuts. Is it worth $6,000 to the average Joe? That's why I say these cameras right here, like these are insane. Queen, thank you for the gift. Appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by, Queen. Good to see you. Yeah. But anyways, Big Texas, back to your point. I think this one's really nice too, dude. Negative view photo. You ever use this camera, the RX107 or any of the RX100s? This is a lot of money too, though. But it has stupid range, dude. 24 to 200 is wild. And it's an f2.8 to 4.5, so like it's great, dude. I have not. Yeah, I was watching a review on it and I was like, this one is a pretty decent point and shoot. It's expensive though. It's expensive. For people that have good amount of money and want a point and shoot, I think I'd say this one. Mm-hmm. It's a crazy camera. Yeah, it is a crazy camera. I think it's so too. I think it's also a crazy camera. Canon R6 Mark II with an RF 200 to 800. Okay. It's a crazy camera. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to look into the Sony. Yeah, Sony RX106. Currently on sale. I don't know when this one came out. Big Texas, as you know, man, always look out for their release dates, you know, because you don't want to buy one that is 5-6 years old because a new one is likely around the corner, you know. So I would check out to see when this one came out. For some reason, my dad got mad at me for wanting to use my own money to buy a lens. Probably because they're expensive, bro. There are almost no grain on the shots unless you're pressing it in almost no light. Yeah, I saw people using this camera for like concert photography. Like, you know, so people, because they'll let you use this camera inside of sporting events and stuff because the lens is it's a smaller camera, you know. Yeah, the GFX is great, dude. If I had unlimited money, would I buy a medium format Fuji? I think I would, yeah. Probably not that one though. I'd probably buy the one that has the interchangeable lenses, you know, if I had unlimited money. Should I get an FX30? Probably. Hey, they consider it a pro camera. Yeah, that's the good thing about professional point and shoots. You can get them anywhere. I've been shooting GFX since the 50s came out. Hasselblad? Nah, I wouldn't get a Hasselblad. Too expensive. If I had unlimited money, I probably would. Just limit yourself on the photos you take with the GFX. Yeah, exactly. Because you got to store those photos, you got to edit those photos, you got to do a lot of stuff, you know. It's not just taking the photo, it's what happens after. You know, some people's laptops might explode. Like you plug in the SD card and boom. What camera should I get for TikTok Shop Lives to shoot videos for my page? R50V. Canon R50V Divino fragrances. I've been seeing a lot of fragrance channels on TikTok, actually. I saw one guy that has some crazy image quality. Yo, what monitor should I get for car videography? Any. Depends on your budget. I would say for a monitor, just to do monitoring, a monitor that does monitoring, just basic, about $150 to $250 should be your budget. How good is the 24mm for cropping? It's all right. Honestly, regret not getting the R50V. I told you, bro. What do you think about the Fuji X106? I like the X106. I bought the X106 within 5 minutes of it being released, and it took 9 months for me to get it. And I checked every day for its release date. Every day for 9 months. Is the Sony A7 IV is great and you can find the body used? Yeah, the A7 IV is nice. Thank you for the heart me. Appreciate Valerie Visions. God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. 35 people over on TikTok. Hello, TikTok. How's it going? Just answering as many questions as possible. By the way, guys, if you are on a TikTok, I am trying to get to 4,000 subs on YouTube. If you could do me a solid and head over to my YouTube channel to give me a sub. I am 54 subs away from hitting 4,000 subs on YouTube, and I could really use your help to get there. Please and thank you. I need your help, guys. What about the Sony ZV-E10 with a G Master? for videography. What about it? Use it. I had the X100V and I never could get myself to love it. Really? Same name, Valerie. Yeah. Valerie Visions. For those of you guys that don't know how to get to my YouTube channel, you can go to my profile page and I have a link in bio. And to get to my profile page, you just hit my profile picture. The first link in the bio will take you to this page, and there's a little YouTube symbol right here. Just hit that and that takes you directly to my YouTube page. And I'm going to be doing free portfolio reviews over there. So if you're interested in getting a free portfolio review, I'm going to be doing one later on tonight and tomorrow. Free portfolio review tonight around 9 p.m. and then tomorrow again. Stream should be good. Thank you for the sub, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm trying to get to 4,000 by the end of March, and that's today and tomorrow. So I could use all the help I could get. Thank you. What lens would you recommend for the lives and videos, brother? It depends on your setup, Davino. It depends on your setup. So I'll need more information about what your setup looks like currently. But typically for the R50V, I like recommending all of the Sigma lenses. That's these lenses right here. The 16 f1.4 is really nice. The 23 millimeters is what you guys are looking at me right now through. The 23 is quickly becoming some of my favorite focal lengths. The f1.4 is really, really nice. I have a f1.2 lens right now. Gert Butter, how long have you been live? Today, 1 hour and 48 minutes. What lens all around for the R50? R50 for all around, I'd probably do this guy right here. The Sigma 18 to 50 millimeter f2.8. I love these lenses for every crop sensor camera. These Sigma lenses are so good. I thought you pulled an all-nighter. No. I went to bed around midnight. Yeah, and then rolled around bed, probably actually fell asleep around 1 and then woke up around 7:30 and then got up, showered, and started recording or started going live. I'm trying to get to my goal. And I think I might get there today or tomorrow. We'll see. Yesterday on TikTok, I got to 8,000 followers on TikTok, which was awesome. Next goal for TikTok for the month of April is I'm going to try to hit 10K followers. Damn, bro, I got school today. That sucks, man. Thoughts on Blackmagic Pocket Full Frame? Is that the 6K? I've never used the Blackmagic, being completely honest. What I have heard people that use Blackmagic, though, what they say is, who in the chat has ever used the Blackmagic 6K? And tell me if this is true or not true. What I've heard from people that use Blackmagics all the time is that they're not very beginner friendly. They're a little bit more advanced. I don't know how true or untrue that is. Can anybody chime in? It is fair enough, man. Thank you. I used one through my school. They are not beginner friendly. That's kind of what Reuter says disagree. Okay. I've never used one. I've never held one, but they're a little bit older too. They're not like super new. The Blackmagic 6Ks, they're a little bit older. I think they are good cameras though. I'm not going to say that they're not good cameras. They're also expensive too. No, I've never used one, but I just know that they're pretty advanced cameras in my from what I've heard from people. The only reason why I'd get a Blackmagic camera is so that I can get the DaVinci Resolve software for free. I think they recently got a new firmware that gave them autofocus. I think that's true. Yeah, I think they recently got autofocus to them, which was kind of a big deal. Is DJI RS4 Mini actually bad? No, hell no, it's good. You just need a camera that can handle the camera needs to be light enough that the gimbal can handle the weight. Yeah, 50mm or 35mm for 67 content videos. EF is for Canon. So, and you're using a Sony, so you need to look for something that says E mount. My diaries. Moose says, true, don't go for black magic unless you are a pro or have knowledge. So there's two people that say it. That's kind of the consensus, and looking at the menu scheme, again, I've never really looked at it. I've only ever had one cinema camera in my life, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing on it. When I look at it, I'm like, what are all these buttons? Holy shit. You know, so it's a different kind of camera. What yesterday's live about with only cameras in the view? Oh, Valerie Visions. Yeah, yesterday sometimes I do lives that are different. That specific kind of live gets like crazy amounts of people. Like crazy amounts of people. Rooters, did you see that there was a new update? I thought I heard somebody say that. I could be wrong about that though. I heard a lot negative comments, but I like the RS4 Mini. Yeah, I have one. I have the RS4 Mini back there, and I also have an RS4 Pro. Both of them are great. I like both of them. They take a lot of practice though. That's one thing that I can tell you, that they do take practice. I have an Amazon delivery today, you guys. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. It's some new headphones for my lives. Not out for delivery yet. Change to the A7 V from ZVE1 to or save up and use it as a B cam as a hybrid and video. Jensen Media. Change to the A7 V from a ZVE1 or save up and use it as a B cam. You want to use the ZVE1 as a B cam? The ZVE one's nice, dude. You don't like it anymore? You want to use the A7V as a B cam? What's your A cam? I bought a Sony Nex 3F. The selling guy on eBay forgot to mention it was body only or for repair. You should get a refund then. Sorry for your experience, buddy. That's why I tell people I don't recommend people buy from Facebook Marketplace or eBay unless they really, really trust the seller. I don't have a sensor inside. Yeah. Sorry, man. That sucks. What lens do you think that one fragrance live was using? Probably a 23mm if I had to guess. Yeah, either the 23 or the 16. But I do offer Divino Fragrances. I do offer one-on-one calls where you and I can kind of look at your competition, and I can pretty much tell you what the guy is using or what their setup is to kind of point you in the right direction of like what kind of gear you want to use. I can also look at your current setup to kind of like map it out for like the best lighting, the best angle, and like your best so you can deliver the best visuals to your audience. But it looked like he was using a 23. But again, I need more details about your own like surroundings and stuff. My current setup right now is, I kind of drew it up for you guys, is right here. My current setup is actually right here. It's a little crude, but I'm currently sitting in this chair right here. And I have two cameras pointing at me with a light that's turned on. This light right now is closed because it's a window. Because there's people outside of my house. They're changing the roof though. They're putting in a new roof. Then I got this big ass light right here. Then I got a tube light that's right here. And then I got another big ass light behind me that you guys can see. And these are the types of angles that I got. I got two cameras rolling. This one is for YouTube, and this one right here is for TikTok. You want to use the ZVE1 as your A cam? What type of work are you doing, Jensen Media? What do you think is your best camera and lens? My best camera is probably the R5 Mark II or the C50. Those are my most expensive cameras. I would say the better camera out of those two is probably the R5 Mark II. And then my favorite lens is the 15-35. What's up, Noah? Question, are you able to check out my spec video I made on Instagram? No, I'm going to be doing reviews later on tonight. Make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss that later on. By the way, everybody that's hanging out on TikTok, tonight and tomorrow night, right around 8 p.m. or so, I'm going to be going live doing portfolio reviews for free. So if you're interested in a portfolio review, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's the deal. I wanted to buy a 2000D. Is it good? It is not good. A 2000D is not good. But if that's all that you can afford, you should buy it. The 2000D is the T7. Okay, thanks, man. No problem, Noah. No problem, broski. Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, my 2 hours is up for the day. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to be back later on tonight. Have a blessed day. Adios.